Ferrari has been infamous for their strategies this season because they've lost so many points because of them. The main guy that you'd normally blame is Mattia Binotto, the team's boss. However, he doesn't hold all the stitches as the strategies are under the jurisdiction of someone else. That someone else in this case is Inaki Rueda, who became really popular this season because of the team's choices on race strategies. There were several blunders this season that caused Ferrari to miss out on a huge amount of points. Let's take a closer look at Rueda and his strategy choices. Inaki Rueda is the head of the race strategy in Ferrari. He is born on the 6th of August 1978 in Madrid, Spain, and he also has experience in motocross from 1991 to 1999. From 1997 to 2003, he was enrolled at the University of Colorado, graduating with a degree in mechanical engineering, specializing in vehicle dynamics, controls and systems. Rueda was eager to work in Formula 1 and he completed a motorsport master's degree at Cranfield University in the UK. Shortly after that, he worked for McLaren Electronics 2005, but he wanted to work trackside, so in 2005, he joined Jordan Grand Prix as a systems engineer. In 2006, he joined Renault in the same role. In 2011, Rueda was appointed Chief Strategist of Lotus F1 team, a role which he kept until 2014. After that, he transferred to Scuderia Ferrari as the head of race strategy, and in January 2021, he was appointed Sporting Director of Scuderia Ferrari. However, Rueda became really popular this season due to the missed tactics of his team that were mostly his fault. The first blunder was in Monaco, where Leclerc lost from P1 to P4 as Sainz obtained his P2 starting position. With Charles, we made two mistakes. The first one was to cover Perez, while with Carlos, we realized very late in his lap that we could not cover Perez. With Charles, we had a big gap and we thought we could cover Perez. At the start of his in-lap, Charles had over 10 seconds advantage on Perez, and we thought this advantage would shrink because Perez on the intermediate tires was lapping much faster than Charles on the extreme wet. We had looked at other people, we had live data from the cars, and we thought that this gap would shrink from about 10 seconds to maybe 5, 4, 3 seconds at worst. As we were coming in, we saw the 10 seconds gap shrinking, 7, 6, 5, 4, as Charles was coming through the swimming pool. The last timing reference we had indicated that he would come out 1 second ahead of Perez. What we did not expect was Perez to go 9 seconds faster overall on that lap. Because of this, we lost the race with Charles. The second mistake we made with Charles was a gap mistake again. We wanted to pit both cars onto dry tires. On lap 21, we thought the track was good for dry tires, and at the same time, we were bringing Carlos in to try to keep the lead of the race. We thought, let's bring in Charles to try to undercut Perez so we can finish P1 and P2. During the French GP, there were some harsh critiques towards Ferrari and its strategy for Sainz. The Spaniard was able to pass Perez on the old, medium compound tires for P3, and with 11 laps remaining and a 5-second penalty to his name, a podium was possible. Nico Rosberg and Damon Hill openly critiqued the move to pit Sainz for new tires, as the Spaniard finished 5 with the fastest lap of the race. In Silverstone, the team was debating whether they should let Leclerc over Sainz for a long amount of time, while Hamilton was approaching both of them. When they managed to secure P1 and P2 prior to the safety car, Sainz pitted for soft compound tires, while Leclerc stayed out on the old, hard compound tires. This saw him losing P1 all the way to P4, and Ferrari's plan was to sacrifice Sainz's race and to allow Leclerc to go ahead as much as he can so that he'll be able to take first place, with Verstappen having a damage limitation race. However, Sainz defied the tactic yet again from his team and said that if he's doing that, Hamilton and Perez will pass him and Charles will lose his position nevertheless. So he went in and passed Leclerc, leaving him to the hungry wolves named Perez and Hamilton. The last blunder was during the Hungarian GP. Verstappen and Perez had miserable qualifying sessions as the Mexican didn't even enter Q1, finishing P11, and Verstappen had issues with his power, so he finished P10. This saw Russell taking his first pole position with both of the Ferrari drivers behind him. It was a great opportunity for Leclerc to bounce back after France and stay in the championship mix for the remainder of the season. The race started well and he managed to pass Russell at one point, but the rules in F1 are very clear. You need to finish the race with 2 different compounds of tires if there isn't any rain. Both of the Ferrari drivers started on the medium compound tires, and in their first pit stop they put on the same medium compound tires. This saw their race going in a 2-stop direction, as the second pit stop would have to see them mounting either the soft or the hard compound tire. Alpine was on a similar tactic, with them pitting for hard compound tyres in their first stop. However, the pace on the hard compound tyre was nowhere near the medium and soft ones. This information was presented loud and clear to every strategist in the paddock by Alpine's pace on these tyres. For some reason, Ferrari decided to put on the hard compound tyre and not extend the life of the mediums as much as they can and then pit for soft compound tyres. The call was first questioned by Charles Leclerc, the driver that yet again endured a hard blow in the championship hopes, going from a possible win to P6 behind all of his competitors. Asked if he was able to explain Ferrari's decision for the hard compound tyres, Leclerc said, "I don't know yet. We need to speak with the team and understand the thoughts behind putting on the hard tyres because I felt very strong on the mediums. Everything was under control and I don't know why we needed to go on the hard tyres. I said on the radio that I was very comfortable with the medium tyres and that I wanted to go as long as possible with those tyres because the feeling was good, but I don't know why we took a different decision," said Leclerc, who also spoke about his pace on the mediums. "Honestly, I was pretty happy with the pace. The only thing is that obviously everybody will remember the last part of the race where it was a disaster for me, especially on the hard tyre. That's where I lost the race, basically. I lost 20 seconds with a pit stop, maybe another 6 seconds in 5 laps on the hard tyres because I was just all over the place with this tyre. We'll speak about this inside the team to get better," finished Leclerc. Carlos Sainz was also left out, puzzled by Ferrari's strategy call, saying, "We clearly struggled as a team today. I'm a bit puzzled because we expected to have a very good race pace coming from Friday, but it's clear that with these lower temperatures and track condition changes that we had today, there was something going on with the car and the tyres that we just were not fast. Something to analyze, a day to probably look back, regroup, see what we did wrong for these kinds of conditions, and come back after the summer break with a better package," finished Sainz. When the team saw that the hard compound tyre is a complete disaster, they pitted Leclerc in for soft compound tyres at the ending stages of the race. However, it wasn't enough for him to catch up to even pass Perez at P5, and by the look of things, the season is most likely over for Ferrari when it comes to championship hopes. And to be frankly honest, they have just 30 points lead ahead of Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship, and Russell and Hamilton aren't that far away from the P2 in the Drivers' Championship either. So Ferrari should be more worried about Mercedes and how they found pace in that car, resulting in 2 consecutive 2-3 finishes for the team. We've seen Mercedes turning back a season in the second part of 2018, and it's possible that for the second place in the championship, we could see the same outcome.